life, sex, goals, and oh, hell knows, this is Midlife Craving. Okay, we're back. Before we get started on the Slut Protocols, you said something and you were like, I'm boring. You're not boring. And then you also you want to explore, but you're scared to explore. Let's talk about that.
Let's unpack
I want to help you.
I don't want to say that I'm scared because I don't think I'm scared. My ex and I had a very great sex life. And we started to teeter into more exploration. That's when I got the sex swing and all the toys and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, to get on a different level, I don't even know how I would put myself out there to a man and be like, do this. I kind of want to just be like, I want to meet a man that has those qualities and wants that, and then pull me into it. So not necessarily make me do it, but get me excited to do it.
I understand the submissive thing and having someone else be in charge and direct you to all of those things. I agree. I'm the same way. But also you have to give, we're talking about the energy, you have to give that curiosity. I'm curious, or I'm excited when I talk about this. Or, do you share that with them?
Well, I haven't had too much sex with men like that lately to even have that opportunity. Yeah. But if a man were like that, I would.
So when you were talking about, and listen, it's like pizza, right? I have had bad sex before, but it's mostly, now you get my mind. I swear to God, I'm thinking of a million things right now. Vanilla sex, agreed. It can be boring, especially if it's routinely the same vanilla
thing and same
before
person.
bed. Yes. But I feel maybe try to take a next level approach in person before you start getting into the bedroom. And maybe you can even use my show as an example. Oh my gosh, I've learned so much from this podcaster, or I learned about the Slut Protocols, or you know what I mean? Start talking about it and putting out those kinky, colorful vibes, because I feel like I attract amazing, wild, crazy partners because that's what I'm putting out.
But I feel like you have this ability to attract or find and vet these men that are able to be respectful and open.
I try. Listen, I fail a lot. Let's little yachty.
But you have success.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine anyone in my circle right now, or anyone that I have met in the last maybe year, that I would even want to explore with.
Man, how do we get you there?
The last guy I was dating, he listened to the show that I was on, and he was like, you have to stay away from my butt. And I'm like, well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
I'm just a finger. It's all right.
For me, and listen, I have some non-negotiables, but I'm also open. I'm I'll try it, and if I like it, I'll do it again. If I don't, then I won't.
Yeah. I'm just very curious.
Yeah.
But I am seeking that person to help me open that. It's not that I'm not open. I shouldn't say that,
but also I want to say something. Do you have a fantasy list?
No.
I want you to make one.
I'll text it to you later.
Yes. I want you to make one. And that's a great way to share with your partner and get things moving, right? Hey, you can even share the note with your partner and be like, let's start knocking some shit off the list, and then start randomly adding shit and see what he says about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also feel like I cannot, because I'll cheat, I cannot settle for vanilla. I can't. And I'm also very vocal about that. And I say monogamy is not for me. It will never be for me. And I finally have accepted that at 40 years old. But I feel like I'm constantly reiterating that and talking about it. And when you accept it and then you preach it and then you also practice it, it becomes a thing. I think that's why I attract the partners that I do.
Yeah.
You're going to get some hate. You're going to get some pushback. You're going to get some, you're a slut, you're a whore, especially from people in the world out there when they find that out. But fuck them. I'm having amazing sex.
Yeah,
I don't
give a
shit. Yeah. But maybe it's.
But to be fair, I'm also not out there actively seeking and looking. I just wanted to kind of just fall in my lap.
Like you said,
just knock on my door. If you're listening, Goodness.
Come and knock on my door. Yeah, I know.
Slide
I
into
hear you.
DMs.
I hear you. I know. I will say another thing too that I don't think about, because you said like you attract like my show is a massive gateway for me. That's how I met almost all of my partners, really. I mean, seriously, Baywatch, everyone in the lifestyle. But I did meet the Dr. B on Cassidy. I met Hot Dog on Field, so Field might be a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Give it another whirl.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another month of it. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. I would like to. I'll join it with you. I'll join it for real this time too. Like I'll pay for it because I think that's a key. You need to see the matches.
Yes.
Like they're so.
I'd like to be incognito on there so that I can.
Oh, smart.
So I can look.
Yes.
And match them because otherwise, there's just too many likes to see through.
I know it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know my one friend, she was like, Adrian, you have like 2,500 people you need. I'm like, yeah, I was like, you do it.
Yeah.
But I've had issues with bots on Field. Like a lot of people that just aren't fucking real, which is annoying.
I haven't come across that just yet.
Be careful. And another thing, like don't send them fucking nudes. My male friend was using Field and he sent a dick pic and she was like, if you don't pay me $10,000 or whatever, I'm going to send this dick pic to all your family on Facebook and all kinds of shit. He was like, it's a scam. He was like, fuck Field. Like I was like, why are you sending dick pics?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I want to have him on the show so bad too. You talk about kink. He is next level. He's got girl.
You need to introduce me to some of these
He
men.
is. Oh my God. He
do the
honestly,
Lord's work here.
I'm out here too trying to find. Let me tell you. But so make a list. That's a good homework assignment for you, and then share it with your partner. That like gets things moving. Because listen, if you don't use your words, you don't communicate to them that you want to be Dora the Explorer. They're not going to know. I
think there's also a sense of like back to your point where, I was like, I don't care what people say. But then it is like, maybe you'll go through this in your 12-step process, but it's like, I don't want to come across as easy because I'm not easy. I enjoy sex and sex positive, but I'm not easy.
I feel like you're going to very much relate to, I'm an ethical slut. That's what I say I am.
Yeah.
I'm not easy. I'm actually really fucking picky. It's a big misconception, especially in the lifestyle. Oh, you fuck everybody. Oh, throw the keys in the, fishbowl and everybody that is not the way it is at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
Everything is heavily, heavily consented. You have to have direct connections, yeses, right? Like there's out of our group, I like it's a very, very small field of people that I play with. You know what I mean? And it's like that out in the world too. Yes, I'm sex positive. Yeah, I'm always exuding sex. Like my friend who came out to me, can you teach me how to eat pussy better? Like, I'm very open and sex positive when it comes to that stuff. But when it comes to partners, I'm picky. Yeah. So I am slutty for sure, but ethically, I require consent. I require respect. So you make that for yourself, by the way.
I want all those things. I want the respect is the big one.
Yeah. And if it's not easy.
Because I'm still a person. I'm just not someone you're fucking.
Right. And I don't think for anybody that would say you were easy, it would be somebody that's ignorant that was saying that, right?
Yeah.
And I get that and I like the word slut. I think we should change the narrative around that word because I am a slut, but I'm an ethical one. Actually, I have the book upstairs, The Ethical Slut. It was a great read. You should read that this summer. Okay. It's a really good read. That's definitely the way I define myself. And I'm the furthest thing from easy. Mm-hmm. Picky as fuck. Yeah, I tell people that all the time.
I'm so picky.
Me and you have the same type too, which is hysterical.
I'm like, I like
we
them
gotta be fighting.
I like them tall. My friends are like, you're like 5 foot. Everyone's tall. I'm like, no, not tall enough.
I used to like the tall, dark, handsome thing. I like guys that are like my height now because they're the ones I shouldn't say. Oh my God. I'm not saying everybody, but from my experience, 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", big fucking dicks. Big dicks. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God it's a thing. 5'10", fucking baby's arm holding an apple. I'm like, wow.
Oh my God.
People like Dr. B and my Dom and other, they're anomalies. Okay, like these like 6'5" dudes with big cocks. Yeah, no. Okay, I just cut you off. I had to tell you some insider information, to see if I wish I could share that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about because I had to give you that.
5'9" to 5'11" have big dicks.
Yeah, I love a fight. Yeah.
Packing heat.
Anyway, but we like the scruffy face.
Scruffy face.
I love like that.
A little
like
rough around the edges.
Yes.
But pretty boy.
Yep.
Fucking put that backwards hat on.
Oh my God. If a backward hat.
I'm like flooded right now just thinking about it.
Girl, I'm the same exact fucking way. That's so funny you say that. The backward hat. Yes. I know. I love that. Oh, fuck.
Better if they're in like golf attire. Goodness.
No, you like golf. I don't really care. I'm trying to think if I guess I do kind of like preppy.
Yeah. I like the pretty boys, but also a little country, a little rough.
I also I feel like I'm always like dating guys that are like fishermen, guys that are like on boats and shit. But one of my biggest, like one of my things I love so much, and I really want to reenact this. God, I would love to date like a country boy, and like he's like working in the fucking he's in the fucking what is it called? The fucking
barn.
Yeah.
The barn.
He's like in the fucking barn all day, and he's been sweating. He's really fucking sweaty, and he smells not stinky, but like he's been sweating. Yeah, and oh my, I want to like lick every fucking crevasse that he has, the crevices, everything that he has, and I just want to like destroy him and roll around in hay.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
That sounds pretty hot.
And I love like it's a scruffy face to me is my number one. That's a weakness.
Yeah.
In fact, when I'm dating somebody, I'll tell them like, hey, please come here with a couple days. I need the shadow.
Yeah.
It
on the
drives me
dating
wild.
apps, I hate it when they have pictures of them unshaven or with a beard and without a beard. And
Yeah.
I'm like, are you bearded now or not? Because I want the bearded version.
True. And you know what?
Because I don't want you.
You know what's weird? Something that's weird. I like a mustache.
Oh.
I think it's the firefighter thing. I like a fireman with like the mustache. I like that face.
It depends on the guy. If he's looking like Rooster from Top Gun, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I don't like the big, and I also, let me tell you, I don't like big beards. Ew.
No, it has to be the high and tight.
Yeah, yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's get into, so you're going to make your list.
Yeah.
I'll check it twice. All right, let's get into the Slut Protocols. I'm so excited to teach you this because especially if you really are looking for that friends with benefits and you don't want to cross those feelings, or he likes to call them imprinting, this is a surefire way.
And this is
to
all
stay
from
out
the
of
book?
trouble. No, this is Reid's Casual Sex Protocols. You can go to his website, Reid About Sex, REID, aboutsex.com to get it yourself. Or you can just Google Slut Protocols or Casual Sex Protocols. It pulls right up.
Okay.
It's a PDF, very easy. Screenshot it, put it on your phone, keep it, print it, put it next to your bed for a Bible, whatever the fuck. But this seriously is a surefire way to not catch feels, to mitigate imprinting, or you know what I mean? Okay, so here they are. I love to share that, like, one of the things that he says is the problem is no one takes their casual sex seriously enough. Like, I love that. I'm like, yeah, that's a really good statement. Yeah. So he says, if you're in a friends with benefits situation, hooking up, playing the field, or if you're in an open relationship, like ethically non-monogamous, and you want to stay casual, listen up. Because these are Reid's 12 categories to have great sex and mitigate emotional imprinting or falling in love, even subconsciously when you're not trying to. Okay. He also gives a disclaimer at the end of his website, which cracks me up. And he says, use these protocols for good, never for evil. Good luck. Okay. This protocol, so protocol number 1 is limit sex to once a month.
What?
I know. But he says, it's really hard for people to fall and stay in love if you're only having sex every 28 to 30 days. He says for some folks, sex twice a month can work, especially if you follow every other protocol. But the more frequently you have sex with the same person, especially great sex, the closer you are to having a relationship, whether you're calling it that or not. Okay, so he says, if you're having sex with a lover more than twice a week, you are definitely having a relationship, in my expert opinion.
I can see that.
I know, but I want to have sex more than twice a week.
I don't want to do it once a month.
I know, but he says you could do 2 if you
That's
follow the
even
rules.
not enough.
I know, but girl, this is the way.
I think I could have sex once a week and not catch feelings.
So maybe we have to find 2 friends with benefits and fuck them twice a month each and follow. So that's 4 times a month, which still sounds low. Oh. I know, but it's okay. Here we go. Here's casual
like
sex
work already.
Casual sex protocol number 2. This I agree with. Limit how you stay in contact or communicate with them. So, and he says, this can vary very much person to person, but be conscious of how you're staying in touch with your lovers or hookups. So if you have a friends with benefit situation, you're already friends and you already have a regular routine of like seeing each other, communicating regularly, whatever. There's a good chance you can keep that up, right? If you've already had the friendship before. However, if you are sexting, texting, calling, hanging out every other day or several times a week, and you weren't doing that before, then you're subconsciously moving yourself into relationship mode. So I really agree with this because you're not going to be talking every day. Yeah. You're not going to be sharing about your week. You're not going to be keeping them up to date with like things that are going on in your life. That's relationship territory, right?
I struggle with that because I like chatting.
But he's very right.
I don't get deep, but I like to chat.
Subconsciously, though, like slips you into a relationship feel.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful with that. He says, if you find yourself Facebook stalking or upset that your lover, you don't see each other enough, or, you're like upset that he didn't text back right away. He's like, realize that you're unintentionally becoming like they're becoming your dopamine dealer. And like when your brain is on, and he says, which means your imprinting trigger has been flipped. You are high on brain cocaine and looking for your next fix. And let me tell you something, those brain drugs.
Yeah.
They will fuck you up. We were just talking about like our little scenarios, and you gotta be real careful with that. So be careful how much you talk. And like, it's true. Like you're conversating back and forth. You're having a lot of fun. And then you get that text and you get excited. That's dopamine hit.
I love that.
I know, but
I love
imprinting.
That. But I know. But then I want it just for that. I don't want it anything else beyond that.
You just gotta be careful how much you do it.
Yeah.
So that's slut protocol number 2. Okay, this is a tough one. Like, it's funny because I'm like reading these and I'm like, I broke every rule with Baywatch.
I do too.
And it worked out. I know,
every time.
There are people that I do follow this with, and it works. I keep hot dog there, right? Like I don't talk to him all the time. I'll even say to him like, "Oh, I'll hit you up in 2 weeks," and I like stop it, right? And I won't see him more than like once a month, because I got to follow those protocols. I just have to, and it creates that distance. It just does.
Yeah.
So it does work. All right, here's number 3. Don't do sleepovers.
Oh, I don't do that anyway.
I don't really do sleepovers either, but I did with Baywatch. So, I mean, there's always going to be an exception to the rule, but he says waking up next to someone you've had sex with the night before can flip that imprinting switch real quick. And it worked with Baywatch, but again, I think that's an anomaly. And because this is the next protocol. Are you ready? And this is where I think the sleepovers are a problem. Casual sex protocol number 4, beware the morning sex. Beware of morning sex. Okay. He says, if you or your lovers imprint easily, having an unintentional sleepover, you have sex till late in the night and it's like this more practical to crash in each other's bed, right? And you accidentally fall asleep together and boom, it's morning time. Realize that banging each other the next morning can flip that your dreamy switch and trigger imprinting. I agree with this for sure. And I will tell you, even with Baywatch, there were times where I'm like, do I like him? Like, do I like him? Like there was that for sure. And it was definitely the closeness because we would hang out together and then go to dinner together and then fuck all night and then wake up and fuck in the morning. And then we would have brunch and then we would watch football or whatever. And that was definitely toeing a line.
Yeah. That sounds like a relationship.
Yeah. But it wasn't because we did have that distance. That was like once a month.
Yeah.
So it's a play of like all these different protocols, but I agree with this protocol. I fucking hate the protocol because I love morning sex.
Yeah.
So that's a fucking problem. So maybe if you have a fuck buddy, just be like, hey, you want to come over at 8 a.m. or whatever? Like, I want that morning sex. But I love waking up and fucking. It's the best part of waking up. It's the best way to wake up.
Oh. I don't like sleepovers, but sometimes I crave having someone sleep with me.
I don't like sleepovers either. I don't like someone sleeping with me at all. I just like fucking. during,
there's both.
and before, and then the next morning. I like fucking the night, in the middle of the night, and then the next morning.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, who can I call to just come and cuddle and hug me?
I don't understand that life, but I can see it. When I have sleepovers, if I ever do, I'm always like, good night, and I'm on the complete other side. I don't like cuddling.
I love cuddling.
Oh, I need to be more like that. That's my defense mechanism. I don't like getting close.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that intimacy. That's what I crave right now.
I crave that too, but not in that way.
I don't want it too much, but just enough.
Yeah, I can see that. So, all right. Number 4, beware of the sleepover. We don't really do that anyway.
Yeah, rarely.
Okay. Casual sex protocol number 5. No trips or weekend getaways together.
Oh, see, but what if you're looking for someone, because I like to travel by myself, but sometimes I'm like, it would be great to have like just a friend that I know, can like travel with, but then we can also have sex while traveling.
And that's the best kind of sex. I love hotel sex.
It's uninhibited
vacation.
sex.
Yeah. Reid says no. Okay.
Is Reid single?
He says, I'm sure he is. He's practicing all these protocols with multiple women. He's thriving. He says long weekends and trips together by their nature include sleepovers and morning sex. Danger, danger, danger. Going away on a trip with a lover, having several days of sex, lots of pillow talk, sharing meals together, waking up next to each other equals dating and having a relationship. Okay, he gives this warning. He says, disregard protocols 1 through 4 at your own peril because it's a perfect recipe for falling in love or having someone fall in love with you. You've been warned. That's tough. Like, and but it's true though. Fucking more than once a week, doing sleepovers, having morning sex, vacationing. Like it's,
Yeah.
I know it's a major dagger, but this is what works. Okay. And it's funny because Dr. B was always like, let's do a weekend. And I was like, no, we're gonna get too close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sounds like a relationship. Although it sounds so much fucking fun.
It is so much fun. It's like that companionship is nice.
Right? Like, hey, you want to go to New Orleans this weekend? Or,
what are you doing this week? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're both kid-free and you're like, let's fucking roll. I know. Yeah. Okay. I love this protocol. This is probably my favorite protocol of all that he has. All right. Casual sex protocol number 6, explore group sex. He said, it sounds crazy, but threesomes, foursomes, and moresomes, highly recommend moresomes, change and diffuse imprinting triggers. He said, I'm not saying that three-ways and orgies will solve all the world's problems. I think it would. But if you suffer from falling in love easily and you don't want to be in a relationship right now, finding a few good people to explore group sex with or by attending a well-run play party might just do the trick. And I completely agree with that, for sure. That's one of the things I would love to explore group play with a partner. Like I'm really wanting to do that. And it definitely like keeps things, it would diffuse the situation for sure. Right? Because you're exploring with others, you're sharing with others.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I love that idea.
I would worry that it would desensitize me and then that's just what I want all the time.
Let's talk about that.
Like, we talked about this before where like it's kind of made you numb, is that what you said, or something like that? Where
I felt disconnected,
and I think it would just, I'm so closed off that it would make me even more closed off.
I feel like it's everything in moderation, right? Like a diet. Like you got to have a sex diet. Like everything's in moderation. When I have too many threesomes or too much group play in a row, I feel disconnected. When I have tons of one-on-one play and like feelings are getting involved and someone's telling me they want to see more, whatever, I'm like, oh my God, get me in a threesome. I don't know, but I will say this. Once you've done it and you love it, I will not be able to live without it. Mm-hmm. When I talk about how monogamy is not for me, like, ethical non-monogamy and being in an open relationship is the only future I can see for myself. And it's because I've enjoyed and explored and exposed myself to that so much,
Yeah.
I really think you should try it though.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like everyone should serve tables at some point in their life, and everyone should fucking do group sex just to see, because it's a very liberating experience. By the way, It really is.
It's intriguing in a good way.
Yeah. And it's funny, if you listen to my episode where I had, Kat and Ams on, I think it was like episode 7. I don't even remember. 9. It was forever ago. I didn't even know what the lifestyle was. I was literally like, my eyes were wide in this room with those two. And I was like, and I remember being out with them and I was like, that's your husband. That's her husband. I was like, what the fuck? It's so unconventional. And I even remember feeling like, man, that was weird. Like, that is weird, right? Like, how are you guys still friends? Like, and I even asked Kat, I go, aren't you worried about your friendships? And I completely understand it now. Like, I can't even believe I was confused or had to ask questions before.
I also think I would be too jealous.
I'm not saying everything's perfect. I'm sure many people struggle with jealousy. The lifestyle has changed me. You know what? When we talk about things like guys texting me, or the lifestyle has made me so fucking secure because I see the secure relationships. I see like such good examples in the group that I'm in. I feel like my jealousy has gone completely away now. Isn't that weird? But also remember, I have not played with a partner, play with Baywatch and stuff, but I have not played with a partner that I'm in love with. So I don't know what that would be like, but I think I'd be fine because I see it and it's so normal to me. Mm-hmm. But I never really thought about that before. Like, the lifestyle really did take my jealousy away. It did the complete opposite for me. Wow. I swear. I don't know. So, and I do know some of my friends have been very open with me, and they've given, like, my one friend gave me this book about jealousy and stuff. And she was like, I struggled. She's like, and she's like, I still struggle. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I feel like it changed me for the better when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Cause I will be doing this, but I feel like you would love it. I feel like you would be like, ding, ding, you would jump right in. I'm telling you, especially because it's just about being open, and you're very open, and you know what I mean? Like, you are just, I don't know.
I do worry. I would worry that what if I didn't have this connection? Because I need the connection and chemistry.
You have to have that.
Right.
With everybody.
So what if I don't have it if I can't,
you won't do it. You won't do it.
Then I just sit there.
So,
then I leave?
Remember, we're having conversations outside of the bedroom with clothes on first.
All right. You do those meetups and
right. Yeah. Like, listen, the people that I've played with, I've seen them and gotten to know them for months. Right. Oh my God, I've been to so many events. Like, that's the thing I like about this group that I'm involved in, is that we do a lot of vanilla stuff together, from concerts to happy hours to, weekends and getaways. I traveled with many of them, and majority of them I have never played with. But then when I went to a room with a couple that I was familiar with, and then a couple that I wasn't, but I had known them, I had been to shows with them and events and happy hours, and I've seen them at parties and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I know and love you guys. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You build those relationships outside of the bedroom, and you better be having those conversations before. Right. And I've turned people down. There's been no's for me. It's hard. Ams always instills, use your motherfucking words. Yeah. And I think about that. I tell her that all the time. Like, I always use my words because of you. So that's key.
Yeah,
for sure. I see, again, like, I feel like it's this, everybody fucks everybody. There's no, that's not the way it is at all. And so, like, when you say, what do I do? Just do nothing. You wouldn't even get to the point where you were even in that room.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So you would have, and listen, like, even let's say we went to a happy hour, like a meet and greet, you're going to know immediately, I have a connection with them. I have a connection with them. I have a connection with them. Like, right away.
Yeah.
It's just like any other dating scene.
Yeah.
And then there's people that I have grown and gotten to build connections with that weren't there originally.
Yeah.
It's kind of gone both ways.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. All right, let's get back to these protocols. And I will, if you want to go check out a meet and greet, you're more than welcome anytime. So just let me know.
Okay.
All right. So number 7, I like this one too. And this is what we should be doing, by the way. Get your sexual needs and social needs from several sources or people. Okay, so he says, having several lovers and regular masturbation practice, fuck yes, and getting your social needs met from non-lovers. These are things that can go a long way towards helping you and others create healthy, thriving relationships from casual hookups to friends with benefits and beyond. Diversity in how and from whom you get your needs met keeps you from putting pressure on one single person. And I agree with that. Like, and let's think about that. Like I have like my guy friends that I party with and have fun with and shoot the shit with. And then I have Katina who I get my gym fix and I work out and get my mind and body right. And then I, will fuck Hot Dog and then fuck Young Blood. And then I have the lifestyle circle. So I feel like I'm doing
very well.
I'm rocking number 7 pretty good.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm missing is I want that like one-on-one primary partner. But that's a really good thing to do. If you're practicing, the sex, the slut protocols and you don't want to imprint or catch feelings for anybody, that's a great rule to follow. Think about that.
Even in a healthy relationship, that's, well, not the multiple partners and whatever if you're in a relationship, but just having your own circles and your own social things.
It's very true. And I hate the word roster. I hate that. But if I think about it, I have had like 3 regulars on my roster, right? Like my Dom, who is like I get my submissive fix. I get to be a total brat with him. He gets me and it's mind-blowing, amazing fucking sex, right? And then Youngblood, who's fun, and we get to play the games together. I get that out of him. And then Hot Dog is a straightforward, lots of fun, good sex, good vibes. Like, so in a way, I kind of am practicing that. I just think I'm ready to move towards more with somebody, right? But when you're practicing these slut protocols, it works. I'm telling you, this has really helped me in the last 2 years because I wasn't looking for that for a long time. Okay, number 8, talk openly about what's working for you and what's not. Build into your sluttiest and most casual of hookups that everyone can talk openly about what's going on for them. He says, trust me on this. It makes for better sex, healthier hookups, and less drama. And I completely agree, but I feel like I need to use my words more with this. I don't want to hurt anybody. So, and I'll share this. Like, for instance, Hot Dog, we were talking about, and he was like, Adrian, I want more. I want to see you more or whatever. And I was like, oh God, like, I don't want to hurt him. And I need to use my words more in that regard and be like, no, that's not what this is. Like, that's not going to work for me. If it doesn't work for you, that's like, let me know and we can just move forward. I need to get better at that. I don't do well with confrontations in relationships. In the real world and business, oh my God, I'm a boss bitch. I'll fuck anybody up. Like my boss actually, he's like, oh, I just love having you by my side because you do all my dirty work. Like I don't mind doing shit like that in the world. When it comes to interpersonal relationships, I struggle with that. I don't want to hurt anybody, you know? Like when you think about that, do you feel like you're comfortable really talking?
No.
Yeah.
That's why I ghost half the people.
Oh, you're a ghoster?
I am a ghoster.
I'm not a ghoster.
I'm trying to be so much better about it. Really, I'm trying. Trying to use my words, but sometimes it's just deserved. But I do. But I try, especially when I don't have a connection with someone. I kind of have the same generic. You're a great time. Had a great time, but this is just not the connection I'm looking for right now. And
honestly,
I wish you the best.
Get to that point, and I'm a big fan of that. And I actually shared on my Instagram a couple of months ago. I went on this first date with this guy. He was great. He was awesome. And he was so cool. And there was just nothing there. Like, I remember sitting there and I was like, fuck, like nothing's there. Like, I don't even want to like, there's zero connection for me whatsoever. And when I told him, he was so fucking mature about it. He was like, can you tell me ways that I could have like me? And I'm like, no, it's not you. It's straight up me. There's just nothing there. But it made me feel better. Like, imagine if I don't want to ghost him, make him feel like shit or lie to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or waste his time,
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of like Lil Yachty, who was like, blocked me before I can even respond. No.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of ghosting. Now, if a guy's disrespectful and like fucking rude and deserves it, that's different.
Yeah. Usually they're passive in some sort of way. And so I'm just like, I don't even have the energy to respond to this.
Yeah.
Or there's no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to entertain it because I can feel and I can tell it's going to be a continual thing, and he's just going to keep coming back with something, and I'm gonna get mad, and I'm gonna have to go back with something, and it's just the back and forth sometimes is just not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Like it gets combative when it shouldn't have to be.
Ew, I don't deal with that.
And I don't like it. And so I think maybe it's just dependent on the person that I would ghost or not.
Yeah. I feel like I just
because I can't just sit here and bite my tongue.
Yeah. It's wild out there, but I'm not a big fan of ghosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am trying to get a lot better about it. Honestly.
I appreciate your honesty though. I'm a ghoster.
Yeah.
Okay. Casual sex protocol number 9. And I love this. Thank your lover within 24 hours of the sex they have with you. Big fan of this. In fact, one of my pro tips, I like to send sexcapade recaps. It's super hot and a lot of fun. I used to do it with Dr. B all the time. Now that I'm looking back on it, I've kind of like distanced myself a little bit from that. I need to get back into that. But it makes everybody feel good. Yeah. And then also it's a great way to tell your partner, like indirectly, hey, I like when you do this. And it makes them want to do it more. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. I always send the thank you for spending time with me today or tonight or something. But I think that's too intimate, right?
Yeah. If you're trying to have casual sex.
That's too intimate.
That sounds like, spending time is different. Mine is like, the way you fucking choked me when you bent me over and then took that tie and tied it around my neck and fucked my brains out. Thank you. That's my kind of thank you. You can sense emotion, no emotion, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact. Thank you for your time. Like, So change that.
I will.
There you go. See, I told you Slut Protocols be good.
Oh, terrible slut.
No, you're going to get better. Okay. Casual sex protocol number 10. Always be practicing your safer sex protocols. Cannot stress this enough. Okay. Like he says, you got to have your safe sex elevator speech conversation before sex. Always use condoms for penetrative sex and get tested at least twice a year. I get tested 4 times a year. But I would say twice is a minimum. Okay. Like, why aren't people getting tested more? Yeah. It's like, I refuse to even fuck with anybody. I'm like, when's the last time you were tested? And I can tell. I'm like, I want to see, because you can screenshot that shit now. Like, let me see. And I have no fucking problem asking for that, by the way. Like Lil Yachty even, like we started discussing fucking or whatever. And I was like, when's the last time you got tested? And he was like, oh, I get tested all the time at work. Well, show me. I want to see, because here's my results from March. You know what I mean? Yeah. If someone's balking at that, I'm out.
That's a problem.
Yeah. I'm like, no. And then he says, have sex with people who do 1 through 3 as well. Like they're doing all those things too. And then they notify you if you test positive for something. And that's exactly what I did. Like when I got HPV, I knew at type 16, I reached out to all of my partners and I said, hey, this happened. You might want to go get a pap. And I know everybody has HPV and most of us kick it out of our system. Or if you had the vaccine, that is the strain that is prevented. But, I told everybody, because that's what a fucking respectful, an adult does. And by the way, you shouldn't be only adults should be in the bedroom. Like I can't deal with that. But so safe sex for sure. And he says, if you aren't doing this, you have zero business having casual sex. That is all. Yeah. And I agree. Okay. And I've had guys, by the way, that are like, I'm good. I'm not worried about nothing. No, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah. You gotta wrap that shit up.
I mean, seriously. And there are times, like actually, Hot Dog and I, a condom fell off and we were fucking and he was like, oh my God, the condom just fell off and it like jammed up inside of me. And I was like, well, there we go. Right. Like that's everything. So, it's a big deal. Safe sex is a big fucking deal. And I understand like you have to go to the doctors, but you can even order STI tests online now. Right. But I just go to I don't know. I just cannot stress that enough. And I'm not fucking anybody who has any issues with that. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So casual sex protocol number 11, respect people's privacy. This is where I fuck up a little bit, but he says, bragging or gossiping isn't sexy or cool. If you're excited about the sex you're having and want to tell the world, I'm like, please ask your lovers if it's okay for you to share and how best you can leave them feeling respected. And listen, I tell all of my partners, they know I have a show. I try not to get into too many details. And I feel like this rule was written for me. But I do get consent. My partners do know. And like Lil Yachty was like, I don't want to be a part of a podcast. I don't want to be a subject in your podcast. Well, you knew about this before. Like, you know what I mean? And I tell people, like, I kiss and tell, you know, not every detail. And I think I do it in a respectful way. And I try really hard to keep things as private as possible.
Yeah.
But I like to kiss and tell. So fuck you, Reid. That's one I do not agree with, but I guess he's saying in a respectable way. Yeah. I agree. That would suck if like someone's like, oh, she put me on this milking table, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
See, that's what I'm also worried about. That's why trying to find someone that's respectful is like so important.
Absolutely. Like, you know, when I shared that story, I shared it on TikTok about like the send me nudes right now. People were like, you dodged a bullet with that guy. Like that's, you know what I mean? Because that you have to pay attention to those red flags. And they come in early, by the way. Like, you know.
They what?
They come in early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 12. We're there. Okay, leave the campsite better than you found it. So he says, after reading these protocols, you should understand by now that the casual sex protocols aren't just about getting laid. You know, getting laid and leaving a trail of drama and upset in your wake means you're doing it wrong. These protocols are built on the foundation that sex and pleasure are good things that can be shared consciously and that enhance life more than just taking away. For this reason, if having sex with someone isn't going to, in quote, leave their campsite better than you found it, then kindly decline from sexy time. It's not worth getting laid if you're upsetting people. Be the person that leaves smiles and orgasms in their wake. Be that person in the world. That's what he says. It's true.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, and by the way, I feel like I'm so allergic to drama anymore. Ugh. Like I was talking to you about like that, like even like the push and pull games.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this feels like drama.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
And then I feel some people are going through like their healing stage or they're just a little broken right now. I don't want to fuck with that.
I know.
Because I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
They just don't know what they're doing and they're going to catch feelings because they're vulnerable right now.
Yes. We talked about like people who are fresh out of a divorce.
Yep.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah.
God, you know, we all are in some way cycling around. Like, are you hurt right now? Are you healing right now? Are you, you know, in a healed space? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like people don't take the time to do that, by the way.
No.
And I can tell. I'm like, this feels broken.
Yeah. I don't think that anyone's ever healed, but you have to be always trying to heal.
Yeah. Agreed. It's
because it's always something.
Yeah. We're all out here trying to make it and make the best with what we've dealt with. Yeah. And I always tell Katina, you know, you live and then you learn. And if you don't learn those lessons, you're doomed to repeat them over and over in the future. But a lot of people can't grasp that. And I think accountability is a huge thing. Like I've made plenty of mistakes. A lot of people don't like having that accountability that helps them heal and move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
rough. It is. And I can almost sense it. Like I can sense different stages that people are in, you know? And I'm not perfect. I'm far from that.
Oh, neither. I find that I will be healed or I think I am healed. And then a month goes by and some shit happens and I'm like 3 steps back. And then the next week I'm like 2 steps forward. So it's always this back and forth.
Yeah.
But that's why that constant work on yourself every day is so key.
It really is. Yeah, I agree with you. And I have found myself since I started working on myself, and I've shared a lot of that on my show in the last 2 years. It also like it changes not only people you date, but the people you surround yourself with too. Like friends that are really miserable in a situation or they're struggling in some certain way, I find myself distancing.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I have lots of friends that, you know, they go through breakups and they always tend to come to me because I'm also single. You know, misery loves company or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
But I'll be there to help you pick up the pieces. But when it comes to the point where it's making me go down, like feel down for myself because of your situation triggers my situation, I always distance myself.
Absolutely. It goes the other way too. So when I was miserable in a relationship, I had lots of friends that were miserable in relationships.
Yeah.
And we all doom and gloomed.
Yeah.
It was so
How do
negative.
you get better?
You got to break away.
Yeah.
And what's funny, I don't even talk to anybody anymore in that circle because I'm not in that place anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm better. And I'm not saying I'm leveling up. I'm leveling out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can feel that shit.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, I want to share something that I read the other day on TikTok because I was like, it sounds ridiculous, but I was like, this is some profound shit. Like there is a healed side of TikTok, okay? And I'm on there. Okay, so it says why, like the word why stands for who hurt you and also who helped you and then what healed you. And he said, you know, when you answer those questions, then you'll find your purpose. And I was like, and I was like, damn, like that's so true. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody goes through these things. Like every single person is going to have someone that hurts them.
Yeah.
Someone that helps them, someone that heals them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was interesting to think about. All right. So we talked about all the slut protocols, limiting sex to once a month. Tough. I know. But then that's why you got to have multiple partners. Yeah. Okay. All right. Limit how you stay in contact or communicate with them. Don't do sleepovers. Beware of the morning sex. No trips. No trips or weekend getaways together. Explore group sex, which I love. Get your sexual and social needs met from several sources or people. I love that. In life and in general, I agree with that. Talk openly about what's working for you and what's not. Thank folks within 24 hours for the sex they're having with you. Always be practicing your safer sex protocols, respect people's privacy, and leave the campsite better than you found it.
Yeah.
So these are good tips.
I like them.
Good protocols. And it's something to be mindful about. You know what I mean? And I feel like even if you just revolve a few of them around, it will help you from that imprinting or, you know, subconsciously falling into a relationship if you don't want one.
Yeah.
Right? Something to think about. And it does work. It does work. I feel like it's really helped me in the last 2 years.
I need help on number 2, the communication. Because if I like you enough to fuck you all the time, I want to chat.
But he says if you've already been friends before, so just befriend them first, have that communication boundaries established, and then just keep them the same moving forward.
Yeah, because sometimes I just want to shoot the shit if I'm bored at night.
No, I know. I like
What's
it
up?
too. I like I like the attention too. I love bantering. I love like the funny talks and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I would love to talk to Hot Dog all the time. He's fucking hysterical. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a riot. But I don't want to get too close. So you can't, you know? Yeah. Okay. So like me and you, like over this episode and the last episode where we're talking about dating and stuff, like we're out here fighting the good fight, you know? And like we need to move forward. We're going to find our ways to move forward. And I think just acknowledging how weird this phase is, and it really is. I look around the room and I'm like, are we all fucked up? Like, what is going on? You know, but just acknowledging it and accepting it, like, and finding ways to learn and grow and move forward. Like, we're out here doing it. Like, we are. But I do want to share a pro tip with you that I have fucked up on in every past relationship, even up until the last guy that I talked to.
What is it?
And it is, do not discuss your past, like your traumas. Like, do not discuss, you know, the last guy cheated on me, and then this guy took advantage of me, and then I was in a relationship with an alcoholic, and then, you know, my ex-husband doesn't do anything or whatever. Do not discuss that.
Yeah, I do not.
I do.
I'm like a vault.
Oh, you're doing it right. I'm fucking up because it gives them a blueprint on what you'll tolerate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think I learned that from my ex who was cheating on me all the time. He would be so caring and want to know, like, who hurt you? Or like all this stuff. And I think he really used that to manipulate me.
Yes. And so
so now I'm very mindful of what I share with somebody until I trust them.
So I was thinking, I'm just going to be like, my excuse for everything moving, I'm just going to be like, oh, we just grew apart. He treated me so well. He was such a good guy. Because that shows the standard that I'm used to. And it will make them level up. You know what I'm saying? And I remember on this first date, this guy was like, so you've never had a guy be nice to you? Like you've never been like taken care of? And I was like, well, that's embarrassing, but I just fucking shared all of that, right?
Yeah.
Like I said to you, like I sometimes think to myself, have I ever really been loved? Like truly, like the love that I give, was that reciprocated? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And why am I telling anybody that? So if you're out there oversharing like that, talking about your traumas, because I felt like I'm just keeping it real. I want to be authentic. I want to really, you know, I'm open about my struggles and whatever.
Yeah.
And no.
I just think it's bad if it gets into the wrong hands.
Yeah, you learned that lesson. I have not yet, and so I'm stopping myself.
Yeah,
so that's something I've done.
But then but at the same time, I think there has to be a good balance, because I've been told that I'm too aloof and too cold-hearted, and it's hard to get to know me because of that. But it's just something I'm not ready to discuss and talk about until I trust you enough.
Well, maybe there's other ways to open up instead of looking in the rear view mirror. Look in the windshield. What is ahead of me, not what is from my past. I've struggled with that. I never really realized that until like he literally was just like, so no guys ever really treated you good then, huh? And I'm like, God, that sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I just told him I allow that behavior, or I've allowed that in the past, and I don't ever want to deal with that again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, let me give this girl the bare minimum because she'll accept it.
Yeah.
She's done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she's used to.
So, yes. So that's a huge thing I'm changing moving forward.
That's great.
And we will see. We'll see how things go. Let's meet back up in a few months. Like, I want to hear about your field trials and tribulations. I'm going to re-download it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm going to give a very conscious effort to really do it. Something
else I heard is that if you're single and you're looking, you should never be home. You should just be out.
I'm
all
always
the time.
out. I'm always out.
I guess
there's just nobody out there.
They need to come knock on our door. I feel like when I'm out, though, I'm with friends, and I'm usually with a lot of guys. That might be a place that's intimidating for me to meet somebody. But I'm always scoping. If I see somebody I like, I'm going to go talk to them.
Oh, me too.
Maybe I just need to put myself out there more.
Yeah.
I got to get up. Got to get out the house.
Yeah.
And then I have my no-go zones. Like, I'm not fucking anybody at work. Fuck no. I'm not fucking anybody at the gym. I'm not fucking anybody that lives in my neighborhood or goes to my regular haunts.
Yeah.
Oh, so that narrows that down too. I got to get outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah. That's why I really enjoyed
you said
getting
you're here.
out of town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I
actually
work on
changed
that.
my app this weekend because I'm going to be out in this area. So I changed it to see the talent out here. There's a lot of good looking men out here.
On Field?
No, on Hinge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think I can do that app.
Yeah. I'm not, it's like a free, I don't subscribe to it or anything, but.
Yeah. What would I even say on there? Likes to fuck all my friends. Pineapple tastes delicious. Like, what do I say?
I don't know.
I feel like, isn't Hinge more for like people that want to get married and shit? Like they are really looking for a relationship. Isn't that like the...
Maybe, but
What's
it's
Bumble?
really, Bumble's the one where the girl reaches out first.
Oh, okay.
Which I fucking hate that one because I just get lazy and I'll forget to reach out. Hinge is okay, but really someone says, I'll match with somebody and they'll say hi and I just don't want to talk. So I'm like, why am I even on a dating app?
I don't know. I hate dating apps. It's really hard for me.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
But I would love to find someone to consistently date.
Me too. Yeah. I want a friends with benefits, I think.
Yeah.
And I want that consistent cock. That's all I want. And I was actually telling Uncle Mo about this the other day. I was like, why? Because it's the same thing the other way around, by the way. Like, he's like, this girl, he's like, can you find me a woman that doesn't have daddy issues? And I was like, fuck you. Because like I'm like, I have daddy issues. Like, he was like, that's all I've been dealing with lately. He's like, in these unhealed women. And then he's like, then I have a girl who will refuse to ever come to me. I always have to go to her. And it's always one thing or another. I swear to God.
Yeah.
And it's for both.
Yeah. I hear it too from my guy friends.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It's crazy. We're not alone. We're all just, but like, I'm going to put out into the universe. I'm going to have a better attitude. I'm going to put myself out there more.
Yeah.
I really need to do that. And I feel like I'm finally starting to narrow down like what I want.
Yeah.
So hopefully it comes to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah. I put myself out there, but I need to be better about being more intentional about how I put myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really need to hone in on what I am really looking for. Because like just talking to you today, I'm like, I'm all over the place. I say I want a fuck buddy, and then I say I want friends with benefits, and then I want some intimacy. I just want it all without the commitment. But then at some days I want that commitment.
I know.
Because I want to feel that safe. I want to feel safe and loved.
I know. And I don't want to be played. I have a lot of issues with, I don't like looking dumb. I don't like falling for shit. So I fucking hate games. I hate smoke and mirrors. I hate feeling insecure at all regarding anything.
Yeah.
I want everything on the up and up.
Yeah, same.
And you listen, I agree with you. I feel like I'm all over the place too. And then I get in like a mood where I'm like, you know, like I got pissed off this week and I'm like, fuck that. Like, I'm just sticking to the lifestyle. I'm not even fucking around.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I wish I can get laid this week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I don't know what I really want. I don't like anything that I have or get.
Fuck. And I think it's really, really tough because, God, you know, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby and baby carriage. And then what? Nobody fucking talks about that shit. And we're out here. And there's a lot of us out here in that phase. And it's tough because when you're younger, that's the end game. You have that fucking, that trail mark, right? Where you're like, okay, by this time we should be engaged. And by this time we should be married. And by this time we should be having kids. By this, there's no more, like, that marker is moving along, but there's no note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I do know I don't want to get married, and I'm not going to have any more children. And so those are both off the table for me. So, and especially me, we talked about the young guys, that's impossible for us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's rough.
I like the young guys, not necessarily because they're young. I like them because they're fun.
I agree completely.
They're open-minded. They're fun.
Yep.
So if I could just find someone in their 40s that is just young at heart, fun, but has
Healed.
their shit together and
That's
healed.
what I think. I think that's a big part of it. Is like the young ones, they aren't damaged yet.
Yeah.
We talk about shopping in the dented can aisle. That's more for the 40s.
Yeah.
Like like, you know what I mean? They haven't been like divorced.
They're just
fucks you up.
drama-free.
Yeah.
The young ones.
But they're also a little bit too loose.
Yeah.
And too all over the fucking place. And like I tell you, I'm like, call me when your balls drop. Like, fuck me. I can't deal with this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then I swear to God, I'm still doing this. We're the same exact age. And I swear to God, I think to myself, I'm not fucking 41.
I never think
Who's
I'm 41. I feel
Not
like
me.
I'm 30.
Age, I wasn't prepared for age to happen to me. That's not me.
Yeah.
Like, and it's fucking weird. I think when you have children too, you see how old they are. You're like, fuck, how are they that old? Because I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Do I look that old? I don't feel that old.
I have a fucking 19-year-old.
Oh my God. That's fucking insane.
He looks like my brother.
He does. How is that even possible?
I don't
Like,
know.
what happened? Like, just, man, you know, I've talked about on the show before, there's that Pink Floyd song when it's like, you didn't hear the starting gun. Nobody told you to run. And it's like, damn, like 10 years goes by and it's fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
I know. I'm going to be 50 in like a couple years. I'm like,
Girl, all my friends are turning 50. Everyone's turning 50.
I can't even fathom turning 50.
50 to me feels like 20 now. Everybody I know is turning 50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not fucking 50. Like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I don't know.
I know.
But you know what? At least we're out here. We're talking about it, which is like, thank you so much for sharing all of this with me. Like, even talking to you today, I feel normal. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not alone. It's not just me.
Not at all.
And I know that like my listeners and people out there in the world, they're in this fishbowl too. And they're like, what the fuck? You know?
It's so hard to navigate. And
It is.
It's nice to have others that are kind of in that same space to bullshit around with and talk about. And
Yeah, because people don't talk about it. And it's like life prepares you, like society prepares you for so many things, like marriage and having babies, like what to expect when you're expecting, what to expect after divorce. I should write that book.
Yeah.
Like, buckle up, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to anyone about it. I will talk about it, but I won't sit and dwell on it if you're fucking depressed about it.
No, I agree with that.
But I'm saying, be a healthy conversation.
But there's no, like, they have all these, like, think about it, like support groups for people that are getting marriage counseling and even people that are going through divorce. But nobody talks to you about what life is like when we're in this like like before it's like, I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. What are we now? Like we're not dying. Like that we're not in heaven's waiting room, but we're also not 21 anymore.
Yeah.
So what are we? Mid-age, right?
Yeah.
Like middle-aged. And it's a fucking wild ride.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys are all here with me riding shotgun because, man, it just feels good not to be alone, you know? So, all right. Again, I'm going to say where my listeners can follow you on Instagram, Miss Tangy, MSTANGY.
Yep.
Go follow her because your pictures are beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
you do have a lot of fun. I love how you travel alone. And let's see where the next, 6 months takes us.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and talk about probably no, we're not going to talk about the same shit.
It's so funny because our conversation, last October, I feel is so different from our conversation today.
It is.
So it'll be exciting because we're in a different place, even
Yeah.
just from then. So it'll be fun to see what we're up to next time.
I agree. Thank you so much for being here.
I love always being
You're
here.
a gem. All right. I'll see you guys. You know what? I'm trying to sit here and think because I always like to say coming up. I don't know what's coming next. I think it's going to be, I'm finally going to have my friend from TikTok. I don't know if he wants me to say his real name. So he's Viking. And he's going to talk about sex after being locked up for 6 years in prison. So I'm dying to talk to him. Plus, I'm so attracted to him. I want to be like, do you want to come to Baltimore and just like record together and then fuck my brains out after? I've thought about throwing it out there, but I'm like, no. But I think I am going to shoot my shot. I swear to God, like after we record, I'm going to wait. Hopefully he's not listening to this before we record. I'm going to shoot my shot by then. And for real, I really want to fuck him. I really do. I'll show you his TikTok account after this.
Yeah.
It's Viking in Training 11, I think is his thing or something like that. I don't know. But, or no, Viking Mindset 11. That's what it is. I should probably get that right. Hopefully he's on next or I don't know. We'll fuck around. We'll find out. We'll see. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.